Purchased for £84,000 in South Wales, BRR project for a London-based client. Let's show you around. So we are probably about a week into this renovation on this project. The client is from London. They're a business owner who wants to build a portfolio, in South Wales. And yeah, they've realised how expensive it is in London, so they've reached out to us. And we completed on this purchase probably around about 2 weeks ago, if not 3 weeks ago. Now we're about a week into the refurb, so we've touched up a few bits, but not crazy. It's quite a small refurb. It's only about 11 grand, and we expect the end value to be, the property once renovated, to be about £120,000. So bought for £84,000, refurb of 11k, GDV, so gross development value, is £120,000 we're predicting. So you'll notice there's actually not that much to do here. It looks a little bit messy here and there, but there's actually not much to do in overall, in total. The main works on this are the kitchen, painting, small garden works, and a few touch-ups here and there. So from our point of view, it's a very small amount of works, but I'll still show you around. I'll show you exactly what's needed anyway. So obviously, the team has cracked on with the works in terms of like the painting, got all that done. You'll notice the kitchen in 2 seconds is already ripped out as well, ready for renovation, ready for replacement pretty much. It's a really nice kitchen going in. And yeah, basically the client reached out to us around about 6 months ago, pot of about 200k there. They want to build a portfolio in South Wales. They realised how low the actual buy-in, the actual cost of buy-in to South Wales is. So property prices around here are like £120,000, whereas London is like £500,000, and the cash flow here is better. So from an investment point of view, it's an absolute no-brainer. And this project is a great fit. It's actually their first project, obviously, and it means that they can just get the ball rolling, get the portfolio built. We've done all the work. The client has never actually been here. I've never even met the client apart from FaceTimes. That's how remote all this service is. So we want to get them from a starting capital of about £200,000. We want to get them probably around about 12 properties in about the next 5 years by literally using the BR method. So buying rundown properties or dated properties at a discount, renovating them to increase the value to force the appreciation up, then get a mortgage on the back end at the new increased value of 120, for example, to actually recycle the funds. Got a mortgage on the back end, most of the money's in the back pocket. I think on this one, they're probably going to leave about 13k in, so they've put around about 110k in. They'll get probably around about 97k back, and they can use the BR method to keep recycling their funds and build their cash flow. So here's the living room. Very bread and butter. From a rental perspective, white walls, strong long-term flooring, and just white doors, very, very easy. Ignore the smoke alarms, we've just installed them, brand new. So for a compliant buy-to-let in South Wales, you need hardwired smoke alarms. So we've just installed them, so that's why it keeps beeping, so ignore that. Yeah, there's not much to say apart from here. Let's keep it going. But while we are in the living room, the windows, we're really glad. There's a few touch-ups to repair here and there, but the windows are very expensive. So the fact that the windows were already in good condition is a big cost saver, which means that, well, obviously the refurb cost is very small in that sense. So from my perspective, this is a tiny project, which is really good. It means that we can actually we can get the renovation done within probably about 4 weeks maximum. We can get this rented out very, very quickly on the back end because it will be renovated. We'll get the refinance done. Well, they bought in cash, so the finance done within 6 months and go from there. But it means we can rent it out very quickly. So it means quicker cash flow, happy days. But the main point at this point is the windows. The windows are very expensive, so the fact that they were already in good condition is a good sign. So let's keep it going. So the kitchen, one of the best value adders you can do. If you've got a dated kitchen in a property, the value of the property is very, very significantly decreased. With this one, it had a dated kitchen. So literally ripped it all out. You can see almost all of it. Yeah, we've gone a bit extra with this one. So we're spending a bit extra on the amount of money needed. We're basically getting a really nice kitchen in the back end to keep it simple. On this one, so we're gonna have nice tiles, gonna have new flooring down here, get all this ripped up as well, get leveled out. The flooring isn't quite straight as well, so we're gonna get that leveled out. So this is gonna be a really nice finish in probably like 2 weeks time, if not less. So that's really cool. But yeah, got the electrics in, we'll get that sorted out. Again, white walls, got the radiator down there, got the electrics as well. So electrical supplies there, the waste pipe's already there, plumbing's already here, all the supplies already in place. It's just a case of getting a new kitchen, which will probably be done in the next 4 to 6 weeks anyway. In fact, everything will be done in this property. There's so little work. For context on the actual refurb, so you got the kitchen, you got the floor leveling, we've got some works in the bathroom to be done, painting internally, a bit of external as well, and that's pretty much about that. There's a few touch-ups here and there, including the electrics, but that's the gist of it. So yeah, very, that's so annoying, very simple project from our point of view. So I can't wait to see the spec on this, because we normally go for a buy-to-let spec kitchen, which is a really nice, practical, functional kitchen. But because there was enough budget in this one and not much work required, we thought we'd spend a bit extra on the kitchen with just the additional chance of hitting that 120 GDV. We're confident of it anyway, but it's a case of really, if a valuer comes in the back end to value the property, it has the extra wow factor. I wouldn't recommend doing this on all your buy-to-lets, because budgets can be tight, and you're better off going for standard buy-to-lets. Good quality, but just standard buy-to-lets. But we spent an extra grand on the spec of kitchen just to make it a bit spruced up, because there was enough budget in the project. So bathroom, it's going to be awkward to record, so bear with me. But basically the bathroom is, we're not doing a full bathroom because, as you can see, it's already quite nice. You've got nice dark walls, which are really good. We're going to tidy things up. We're going to replace taps. We're going to replace the covers. Most of it, I'll turn the camera around in a second. Most of this is actually all right. And if things don't need to be changed, why change them? You know, if they're already good, if they already look aesthetic and practical, because practical is really important. Yeah, I'll show the camera around actually, just for some context on this. So yeah, you can see it's already nice anyway. We don't really need to change much. We're going to change like the taps and touch-ups to make this a really nice finish, but we don't need to add and change and replace the whole thing. Even the LED lighting's already in, so most of this is already done, lucky enough. 2 things to add by here, actually 3 things to add by here. So for everyone's benefit, ceiling heights are really important. So this is okay because it's just a walkway, but with bedrooms and things like that, if ceiling heights are too low, as in like walkway heights are too low, well, with bedrooms, it's really important to factor that in to make sure it's compliant as a buy-to-let on the back end, if of course you're making it a buy-to-let, because you need tenants to not hit the head, and health and safety obviously, isn't it? So yeah, just be careful if you've got low ceilings throughout a property. This one's fine because it's just a walkway, but just be really careful with that, because like chopping into walls and increasing sizes can be very expensive if you've got beams above. This one isn't, as you can tell, but you get the point. Also, doors, internal doors, we're going to change a couple. We would change a couple of these, we don't really need to, but we typically do if we're doing a full works on it, because it can make it look a lot nicer. And the point I'm making is that, like, if you have, you know, a couple of doors, internal doors, it's like 50 quid a door, it's nothing. But if you have a lot of doors internal to change, be careful with your costings. It can be really expensive because it can add up a lot, and it's one of those unexpected costs where you're like, oh, it's just a few doors. But if you've got 7, 8, 10 of them, it adds up. LED lighting, this is obviously a fluorescent light, but we're gonna have every single light in here in the property become LED. The reason is for, number one, efficiency. So for the EPC to make it a C rating, which is really important, because you need a C rating for an EPC in about 5 years' time for it to be compliant as a buy-to-let. So that's really important. So obviously the energy efficiency from LED lighting is going to be the absolute best. So a couple of things you can do is make all your lights LED. You can put insulation in the loft. You can make sure your windows double glazed PVC, things like that. You know, make sure it's insulated and etc. Those are the most cost-effective ways of doing it. But just really important, if you've got rentals, make sure they're a C rating in the next like 4 or 5 years. And that's one of the easiest ways to do it. Change your lights for LEDs, guys. Oh, and one last thing in the kitchen is TRVs, so thermostatic radiator valves. The reason I mention that is from an EPC rating again, believe it or not, they're really, really important. So if you can do your lighting and all this kind of stuff, but with your actual radiators, make sure they've got TRVs on. They're inexpensive. They're not that expensive, but make sure they're done, because that affects the EPC rating a lot. And that's so annoying. It's always mid-sentence. And also having a controller on your boiler. If you have a combi boiler, have a controller on it. That'll also benefit the EPC. So the garden. I love this garden, as I probably said before or later on. The garden is low maintenance, so it's literally stones there. It's no grass to cut, anything. Grass isn't a bad thing, but it just means that if a tenant comes here, they don't have to bother. So it's just more appealing. So for us, it's really good to go. The fencing's already nice and secure. Yeah, we're going to tidy this up a little bit, as you can tell, spruce up a little bit, just for aesthetics. But in terms of the actual practicality, that is brilliant. So that or AstroTurf are really, really good. But we also love grass because grass is really common. But not much else to say apart from the garden, apart from that, really. So as you can see, the carpet is actually all right. We don't need to change it. In fact, most of upstairs, surprisingly, is absolutely lovely already. So white walls, dark, nice carpets, banister. I'll get onto this later, but making sure that's solid, we'll have to secure that. But 95% of upstairs is already good, so a lot of our value add is actually downstairs. Just the fact that in, nice doors as well, happy days. And the exact same for the third bedroom, good sizes. Bish bash bosh. LED lighting, this is an exact rental room, so nice windows, LED lighting, nice radiators, we'll get the TRVs on them, white walls, nice doors, good carpets, and obviously the electrics, make sure they're high enough. Those are the main fundamentals from a buy-to-let. So next is the boiler, which is really important because this is a very, very good example of a time where we haven't had to change it, so we haven't. Now, there's a caveat to this, right? So this is quite a good brand, it's functioning and practical and it works, but what we've done is we don't need to change it because it's practical and functioning, but because it's been here for a while, it's not the newest, we'd almost approach this to say in 3 to 5 years we'd probably change it, but right now it's absolutely fine. So it's a case of making the letting agent aware, making the team aware, and the buyer of course aware that there's a chance of this being needed in the future, but right now it's not that important because Valent are a very good brand. It is quite dated, but the fact that they've got a really good quality boiler that is dated doesn't mean you have to replace it. It just means that in 3 to 5 years, be aware that you may need to, potentially. So yeah, bit of a speech on that, but no, we're very happy to keep that for what it is. For the property, for the exit, because the whole point of this, the whole refurb, every approach that we've done with this property is based upon the exit, and the exit is the buy-to-let. So you purchase a property with an exit in mind. What you're going to do with it is the exit. That's buy-to-let. So that's the spec we've gone for, the refurb, all the conditions we've gone for, make it a compliant, safe, practical, functioning buy-to-let that hits the GDV we need and the rental, because you have to have these things in place for it to be able to achieve the rental income you want gross every single month, so that you can actually make your profits as an investment, well, as a landlord investing. And that's my speech on boilers. So banisters as well, but it's a pretty random one, but banisters are important because of safety, and obviously the whole point of a banister is, yes, you can hold it, but it's also to stop people falling down. And if you have a low banister, one that's like knee height, for example, check out your requirements, whether it's you're in England or Wales, whatnot. But in Wales, you need to be hip height, from my point of view. I can't remember the exact figure, but you need to be high enough to be safe and compliant as a buy-to-let. So just factor that into your cost. And also, this one's a bit wobbly, so we will, because it just needs a bit of securing at the bottom. Very, very easy fix. Yeah, we're very happy with what's needed with that one, but just be careful with your banisters because people forget about them. Same as gardens. If you have a garden and you've got a drop of some kind, you've got to have a fence there. So just be careful with that. Numbers. So rental, we expect this one to go for about £800 per calendar month gross. So that's literally what we're charging the tenant. That's probably top end, to be honest with you. 775 is probably more realistic, but we do tend to push because there's such a high demand in South Wales. It's ridiculous. People really want to move here because it's cost effective, it's cheaper than most areas, and rents keep going up. So therefore it's so cheap, but rents keep going up. Cash flow, even from a buy-to-let standpoint, makes a lot of sense. And there's a lot of hype around South Wales right now. So what we're finding is that we've currently got prices in South Wales that during COVID have boomed up. But even now, because there's so much regeneration going on, because Bristol's going up in value as well, which is like 20 minutes just over the bridge, Bristol's like 300-400k now-ish, and that's booming up property prices here. So what you've got is property prices around here, like let's say 120k, for like fully renovated. We expect that to appreciate ideally by about 20% the next 5 years. So you can literally have a buy-to-let like this, let it go up by about 20% over the next 5 years. And the rental side, you know, if we're already at like 775 or 800 pound per calendar month as a rental already, imagine what's going to go like when wealthier people move into the area, etc. So South Wales is a definite hotspot at the moment, and I only see that increasing as things appreciate. We're heavily investing ourselves right now as well. So literally, we're buying about two new projects a month for ourselves, heavily, and there's a reason for it. So if you want to benefit from these, you only benefit from property when you own it. Well, not when you own it. You get what I'm saying. You only gain the appreciation. You only benefit from the appreciation. That's the word, when you own it. So just to be wary of that, you gotta be in it to win it. So obviously this is bedroom number 2. It's more the box room, but just a very nice standard room anyway. But basically, I wanted to talk about the client story because for us, it's a very bread and butter story, and it kind of shows the sort of avatar we work with. An avatar is like our ideal client, and the reason we have an ideal client is so that we've modeled our business so that we can help people internationally. Like, location for us doesn't matter from an investment point of view. 75% of our clients I've never even met in person. We got a great relationship, but we've just WhatsApp and text all the time. So location for us doesn't really matter. But most clients I haven't even met. You know, I love to meet, but it doesn't always happen because we have some clients, you know, Netherlands, Asia, blimmin', America at the moment, Scotland, London's a hotspot, South England, all sorts, right? Because of the internet, social media. So that's really cool. So the client fits our avatar because they're a business owner who has, I think, makes a healthy salary. He sold his business X amount of time ago in the last few years, so he's got a healthy pot there. Wants to get invested in property, and South Wales is a no-brainer because he can invest like 200-300k into South Wales, build a portfolio that way. We help him, we do all the work. Again, never even met the guy, but these are the sort of investments that we can work with. And he's never even been. He's going to turn up in about 3 weeks just to check it out, to see what we've done. But to be honest with you, he doesn't have to. And so, yeah, got a pot there of about 200-300k. Wants to build a sizable portfolio over the next 5 years with us. And that's exactly what we're doing. We've literally found a property for him, renovated it for him. We're going to be sorting out the refinance and the letting side for him on the back end. And the model we work with is very, very simple. And it means that if someone's got that sort of capital, they can just build a healthy portfolio here and they go from there. Even a lot of our clients have between, for example, 50 to 100k. It still works for us. But it just means obviously the more capital you've got, the more you have able to invest, the more we can actually help you. Because a lot of this is seeing how we can help you with your situation. But you need the capital to actually invest in the first place. Make sense? So yeah, that's kind of his story really. Reached out through social media. So if any of you guys are watching and you want to invest in South Wales, I'll go through the numbers in a second in terms of this exact property, but if you want to invest in South Wales, build a portfolio where you've got either, I'd say 100k ideally or more, but we can also work with between 50 to 100k. It works better with 100k or plus, but be sure to reach out anyway. Even if you're unsure on what your options are, definitely reach out. If you're unsure on what your options are, definitely reach out. Booking a call with us just so we can brainstorm what's possible, because we can tell you if we can't help you, we can tell you if we can help you, because we offer different things. Like, we don't just do portfolio building, we also do fixed return. So if you're looking for a fixed return, we can give you, a fixed return instead of building a portfolio. So it takes away all the risk, we'll give you a return, but that's for a different video. So yeah, that's the long story short. So if you want to book in a call, I'm going to put a link in the description to the video to book in a call with us. So check the link, book in a call with us that way for our website. Very, very simple. And then we can have a chat and go from there. Also, if you've got any improvements or comments to make about the video, anything you'd like to see on the video, first of all, subscribe. Second of all, comment what your thoughts are in the comments. Totally open. We're always looking to improve what we do, always. Even when we onboard a client, this current client, I'm going to meet him to have a chat with him to see what we can improve on every single time. We have over 100 people a year investing in South Wales, so we've got a really good reputation now. Well, we have for the past 3 to 5 years. We've been running for quite a while, but we always look to improve. If we can improve and to help you guys, let's do it. So any improvements, any ideas, chuck them in the comments. Like the video, subscribe for sure. I'll go through the actual project numbers in a second. Let's go. So project numbers, a little bit darker in here, so bear with me. Might even turn the light on in a second. So project numbers. So bought for £84,000. Refurb is £11,000. We're expecting to cost £11,000. GDV, so the gross development value, we expect to be £120,000. And the rental income, the gross rental income, once renovated, we expect to be £800 per calendar month. So what this is going to give you is a 21% return on investment, and I'll show you how that works in a second. It's going to give you over £250 net monthly income as a buy-to-let. So that's net monthly income, because you can charge whatever you want as a rent, but what's net in your pocket after mortgages, maintenance, insurance, all these other costs, void periods, etc. Because net is the most important figure. And then money left in, but the return on investment feeds into that. So the reason this comes about is when we're finding properties in South Wales, we're getting rundown of data properties and we're able to secure them for a discount. So we do all this work to find them for a discount, motivated vendors. This one, for example, was worth probably around about 100k, secured it for £84,000. So good healthy discount from day one, so around about 16 grand. The works of 11k, again, we expect to actually push that up to £120,000, the property value. So that's the exit really. So that's where so we secure equity from day one, which means that when you actually renovate, you increase the value of the property and you get your mortgage on the back end to actually recycle your funds, 75% loan to value, pull most of your money back out. And again, I think he's going to leave about 13k in this deal as a cash purchase, so really good. So he's buying a house for 13 grand, which is insane. So yeah, really happy for him in that sense. Obviously, should the numbers come in on the valuation. And that's about that really. And the reason I say 21% return investment is if he's putting 110k into this, for example, not exactly, but for example, and he's going to get 97k back, 13k left in, plus his first year cash flow net, that return investment is the 21k. So just to give clarity on how that works. So these are very, very good return investments. And the fact that you've got an appreciating asset on the back end that you can grow and scale up into a larger portfolio that also cash flows, that's why people do buy-to-lets in South Wales. And it just keeps growing. The whole point of doing this is not to do one buy-to-let, it's to do 5, 10, 15. Because then if you've got 25k of equity per property once renovated, if you can 10 times that over 5 years, you've got £250,000 of equity sat there that's going to keep appreciating. And the golden bit is if you've got 250k of equity, and it's going to appreciate in the area by 20% or 15, 20%, then you've got 300k of equity from doing nothing. Then you've got 350, etc. And it keeps compounding. The compounding interest, which, as we all know, Warren Buffett loves. So yeah, that's the numbers. Without boring you too much about all that kind of stuff, that's really the creme de la creme of why we love just buy-to-let, BR buy-to-lets in South Wales. They're so effective, and the process is simple to the fact that the client's never had to be here. We've done all the work. Everything we do is by WhatsApp and email. Talked to the client 3 times, really sound guy, and we can't wait to get this refinance to go ahead and just go again with him. So yeah, if you want to start building a portfolio in South Wales, reach out, and look forward to speaking with you.